that's a nice ski mask. I want to know what the beginning. And we are live here at a super secret location. This is Growlersations 18. We are now old enough to vote. I really am super excited. And we are here at a super secret location with a very special guest, my man Adam Avery. We have been friends for quite some time, and we are really excited to have him here drinking some beers with us while he's in town. We'll talk about all the cool shit he's got going on while he's here, but for now we are going to get on to drinking beers. My name is Sam Wynne, and of course my man Jeff Fryman is here pouring things up for us. Beer number one is one of our favorites, which is Avery White Rascal, which is made by the man himself right here. Cheers to you, Anton.
Working on it.
Gentlemen. All right.
Cheers.
There we go. So, Adam, welcome to Dallas, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, White Rascal, I mentioned to you earlier, it's one of my desert island beers, one of my absolute favorite beers of all time. I like to classify, people ask me all the time what my favorite beers are. There's desert island beers and death row beers. Death row beers are the last sip that you have before you die. Desert island beers are what you're banished to drink for the rest of your existence. And Avery White Rascal is definitely one of those orange peel, coriander, Belgian wheat beer. Really, really an awesome drinking thing. So thanks,
you want to be banished
for making
to
it.
this?
I want to be banished to a desert island with a lifetime supply of White Rascal.
What would her name be that was with that with you?
What would her name be?
You need something else.
Melissa.
Besides,
My fiance's name is Melissa.
That's right. That's right. That is the correct answer.
That really is a good beer, though.
But, you know,
Well, thank you.
I would never ask you to pick your favorite baby, but I would assume that this is at least in the top, handful of
It
of
depends
beers
on the
that
day, the time
means
of
the
day
world
or
to
what
you.
I'm eating.
Yeah.
I think most every brewer, I love all our beers that we make, and a beer for every occasion. So, but yeah, this is our flagship. I mean, it became our flagship kind of just, it just happened.
Yeah.
Our IPA was our #1 seller for years. And then, sometime in, I don't know, it's like 2009 or something, all of a sudden we were looking at the numbers and we were like, holy shit, White Rascal is going to be our #1 seller, this year. And so lo and behold, people, want a really refreshing and, crushable beer.
I'd imagine Texas summer is kind of helped too with the Texas market. I'm sure we gobble that stuff up.
Absolutely, it's
down
the
here.
#1 seller down here. And in Texas, thanks for drinking a lot. I think it's probably you as well, but this is our third biggest market. So
Hell yeah.
Colorado, and then Southern California, and then Texas.
Right on.
You guys drink a lot of beer?
We try.
I know.
We're good at that.
I've told you this before,
We're
but
good at being chubby.
hog's
and
the way.
Drinking lots of beer.
I would, if I had to go to a desert island, because you can drink that like when you're like you want to get fucked up, or do you want to just chill on the island, and just look at the sunset, because you're gonna be there for a while.
That's why he's my guy, because he wants to take Hog Heaven to a desert island. That's
Well,
why-
plus you
that's
can
why
drink it
he's
at different
my-
temperatures too.
Yeah,
So like,
he is my boy.
it's basically, it's an IPA when you drink it cold, and
Yeah.
then you let it warm up, and it's more barley wine. So
Yeah.
it's a neat beer.
Right when the helicopter drops it, that's when it's got to be its best. Right at the
Oh, you
coldest.
get helicopter drops on this island?
I don't know how it works.
I don't
There's a
either.
cave.
Like,
There's a secret
there's
cave.
Was it a spring? Just like an eternal spring there?
Yeah, they tell you.
Yeah, White Rascal just Hog Heaven
spring that'd be big, man.
trickles out as a waterfall
Oh,
that you
man.
bathe in.
Oh boy, that's great.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Hog Heaven, because that's like the story of the Avery.
Oh, I got a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stories to tell, but that is a good one.
The pigs fly. I've
Yeah.
never actually heard it from you directly. I think I've just trained it as a.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think like a lot of brewers my age, we, my hero is Ken Grossman, and drinking Sierra Nevada Pale Ale was like, that was the beer before I started my brewery. That's the beer I was drinking, and so and we started in '93, and then we sold a little bit of beer, and things weren't going well, and we decided, hey, and we were drinking Bigfoot, so that's why I brought up Sierra Nevada. So I only had a few employees at that time, but we were pounding Bigfoots all the time, and I was like, hey, I woke up one day and I realized, hey, I own a brewery. I could probably make a beer just like this if I wanted to. So in '98, we started making Hog Heaven, and and it was kind of the beer that kind of put us, not on the map, but I mean, distributors, and people around the country were like, we had this beer that was, big, massively hopped and, higher alcohol. I mean, for the time it was, 9.2 and, it was dry hop, but this is 1998, 1999.
For sure.
And so, that was the beer that kind of set us on our path. And so further in that story, when we started making it for production, it was starting in this is like 1999, and this kid from Southern California kept calling me, and he had this beer fest, and he was like, man, I know about this beer. I had it. It's really good, man. It's really good beer. And I'm still brewing and doing all the work and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just me, my dad, my sister, and like 2 other employees. And so I'm like, dude, I can't. What are you talking about? I was like, I can't send you beer. I can barely make enough. And he kept saying, no, I need it. So anyway, one of my friends took a keg down to his beer fest, and that was Tommy Arthur at Lost Abbey, and so he's a really good friend of mine. But that's how I met Tommy. But at that same beer fest, so that was the San Diego Strong Ale Fest that he's put on since '98 or Pizza Port Fest. It's a great fest. At that same fest, there was this other kid, and he had the beer, and he really liked it. And so he called me, the week after, and he said, Hey Adam, I own a small brewery down here in Southern California, and we self-distribute our beer. And we want to make you. He's like, I had your Hog Heaven. I really loved it. He's like, I think it's going to go. It'll be a hit down here in Southern California. So what do you think? Do you think we can distribute it? So it became their first beer that they distributed outside of their own portfolio, and that was Greg Cook.
I had a feeling.
It's all these kids.
Right. So Hog Heaven has tied me into a lot of different people, and I love telling that story, especially like when King Grossman's around, because obviously he's a big influence on us. But
for sure.
But Hog is like, if you ask me what my favorite beer is, I would say that, just because of the historical significance that it had for us, because it did lead us down the road of making more flavorful, higher alcohol, highly hopped beers. So that was the first one that we did, and so Reverend came after that, and Salvation, and Czar, and Maharaja, and The Beast, in 2005. So Hog was kind of the where I kind of learned how to start making higher gravity beers.
So I know you're moving towards a rebranding. Are you going to keep the wings on the pigs on Hog Heaven?
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to keep that little.
Absolutely.
Got to keep that little
still
part.
be
Just to keep it on the Hog Heaven.
And it will be a pink pig, obviously. It has to be pink.
And King Grossman, I heard this story of your hot tub.
Which story?
Yeah.
Hold on, Jeff.
You say he's got a lot. So I was hoping that you could tell that story if you want. When you guys mixed beers to
that I know that one. So that was just a couple of years. That was just like a year ago. So Sierra invited us to be a part of their 12-pack. So they had this. They invited. What was it? 6 brewers.
Yeah.
And then, so we decided we wanted to, they were like, try to keep it like simple, because all the other brewers, like, they want to do all these wacky things. I was like, dude, all I want to do is blend Bigfoot and Hog Heaven. I was like, I don't even want to try to like make the beer in a tank. I was just like, I just want to literally blend it, and so we had the blending party in a hot tub.
Yeah.
It was hard to do because it all smelled like chlorine, and so I was just like, guys, I'm burning my fucking nose with chlorine. I keep smelling. I'm burning my nose with got rid of my nose hairs at least, but anyway.
I just imagine going like, is that it? I don't know. Let's try another.
No,
one.
we actually had to go because we were in Vail. We were at the Big Beers Fest, and so we were out in the hot tub doing it. And I was like, "Come on, guys!" So we went back inside, and we did it, pretty fast. So we came up with the right blend, and then we went out and brewed the beer. We had to brew the beer at their place, at Hog Heaven. So we pretty much matched it up really well and did the blend, and I think it turned out really well.
That's awesome. You've blended a lot of beers with a lot of really cool people. The first thing that pops into my mind is the Salvations and how collaboration, not litigation, ale became a thing. I think not only was that a good beer, but it was also a good precedent for you to kind of establish for craft brewers and the way that we treat each other. Yeah,
thank God.
Yeah, this is the Cerveza Oscura, which is the Piloncillo sugar Mexican dark lager.
You drink it all.
But yeah, so you guys both had a salvation. You both are buddies, and you both made the conscious decision not to sue the shit out of each other, trying to protect it. And was that just how did that?
Well, I think those were definitely simpler times. All the way back, 10 years. Well, actually, that's about 12 years ago, wasn't it? But God, that's a long time ago. But no, those were simpler times, and it was funny because I had never met Vinny, and Tommy introduced me at the Great American Beer Fest, like at his booth, and he just brought up, he's like, "Hey man, we both have this beer named Salvation," and I was like, I don't care. And he's like, no, I don't either. But that's. I don't know. I think that, like I said, those are simpler times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can actually, really do that anymore. You can have coexistence, agreements and share like that. But certainly, people can be cooler to each other. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But it's been fun, and I count Vinny as one of my best friends, and that beer actually did turn out great. I think it definitely. It became something else, like it doesn't taste like my salvation or his salvation. Yeah. It wasn't like, I can taste it. It was like it became something else. And it's a neat beer. I mean, it really is a neat beer. And that was just a straight up blend, a certain percentage of ours, a certain percentage of his, and pretty simple things.
Yeah. So when was the last time you cracked Isabel Proximus? Speaking of that old gang. Isabel Proximus was one of the OG collaboration beers. It was you and Rob Todd and Vinny, and who else was in on that? Sam Calgione from Dogfish Head. Yep. He signed our wall. You got to remember to sign our wall before you leave. Well,
but don't get too brain dead here.
Considering I got that tattooed on the center of my thigh, and it was my first brewery to ever.
Did you see this? That's badass.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, they were all added on there afterwards, so
Yep.
Old us three still hanging on there. I miss you, us three. But yeah, so when was the last time you cracked open one of those collaboration beers?
The last one I can remember was not last GABF, the GABF before.
Yeah.
All the guys we do. That whole crew came out and we did a beer dinner at our place. And we had been doing it, that was like the 5th or 6th time we did it on the Wednesday of Great American Beer Fest. Cool. And so, typically either I brought a bottle or somebody else brought a bottle. I'm all out. Yeah. Tommy, I think, still has like 10 cases.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it still tastes great, for sure.
I've never actually gotten
to really good beer, too.
Thank you.
I mean, all the beers I've had.
We do the Piloncillo cones. Jeff and Drew spent a whole day just
there must have been a better way.
Uncasing cones of brown Piloncillo sugar to get this one. Obviously kind of Negra Modelo inspired. And we want we like making good, easy drinking beers.
It's not burnt caramel, but it's definitely like baked caramel. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah,
I like it. It's really good.
It comes from good sugar. You can find cheap sugar.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is good. Made by grandma sugar. Like I said, I've never actually met Tommy, but one of my favorite experiences of my whole beer career was when I went to go visit Lost Abbey, when I was back with Flying Saucer and I was Keith's assistant beer director. I went to Lost Abbey, I was sitting at the bar, I talked about this not too long ago, but I was just kind of randomly chit-chatting and mentioned that I was in the beer business. And the bartender was like, "Oh yeah, welcome, brother," and took me and was opening unreleased bottles of beer. And I've never sold a drop of Pizza Porter Lost Abbey. I'm not shit to them as far as a retailer goes.
Was he being a dick to you before that?
No, he was being. It wasn't Tommy. It was one of his bar managers or something. Right. But I was like, "Yeah, I wish I could be here 2 days from now. Track 8 is getting released." He was like, "Oh, you're not going to be here? I'll go get one." And he ran across the street and popped open a bottle of unreleased, highly sought after beer with just some dude that sold beer in Texas. And it's one of my favorite old school, just beer moments. It's like, hey, we're on the same team. I don't know you. I have no way to benefit from sucking up to you, but thank you for doing what you do wherever you are in the world doing your thing. And so it'll always be one of my favorite experiences in beer.
And that beer is badass.
And that beer's badass.
That's one of his best beers.
Yeah,
forever.
that track 8 was that cinnamon, like something. It was like, what is it? With a Belgian quad or what was the base beer?
It's a stout.
Was it stout?
Yeah.
I just
Bourbon
remember.
barrel
I
aged,
remember it was all.
in it. It's got chilies in it.
Yeah.
Vanilla bean. It's badass.
I haven't had it since, but it was super great.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Ken Grossman a second ago, and the
Never heard of him.
and the Bigfoot.
That's because you're young. That's because you're too young.
There you go.
It's a beer called about a pale ale.
Craft beer second billionaire.
Yeah.
But we are talking about launching a Firkin Friday. I did Sierra Nevada Beer Camp back in like 2008. And in 2008, Terrence and all those guys were like, Sierra Nevada will never be in a can, and bottle recipes never make it out of the brewery. And we're talking about launching a Firkin Friday with a Firkin bottle recipe pale ale, and actually having cask conditioned bottle recipe. And I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for that, and I'm super pumped about getting to drink something like that. But it's cool. Times are changing.
throwing this in Terrence's face, or?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dip my balls in it and be like, hey, Terrence!
Never say no.
Hey, how's beer camp going, buddy? But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's kind of funny looking back on the changes that have happened over the years, and I can't even imagine what that's like with your experience, which is
You calling me
more
old?
than double mine.
Yeah, I think you just called me old.
Yeah, I think so too.
Exactly.
But it's always been. I've always looked up to you a whole lot as a person, but like as a brewery too. Your portfolio is genuinely probably my favorite portfolio of any brewery in the country. You make simple, good beers like White Rascal. You even still make a brown ale. I hope
to
you still
everybody.
make a
No,
brown ale.
Ellie's still kicking.
Yeah. But that's like part of like that beer nostalgia for me, is being able to drink a brown ale. But also you keep up with the trends and do like that. Your barrel age series is one of the like more ambitious barrel age series when it was in its origins. You had some bad ones come out of there. That was kind of the fun part. Like I remember I had a bottle of Brabant that was like 3 years after it was made, and everyone was like, "Be careful with that one." But like all of it, I love just the whole process and everything that you've done, and it means the world to me. So
thanks, man.
for coming and being a part of Growlersations. I've told this story to Jeff, and I've told this story to a handful of people, but before BrainDead opened, I had a Wayne's World 2 dream about Adam, where he was my Jim Morrison. And we wandered through West Texas, and you had just built a water park brewery in West Texas. And we were like,
Hog Heaven has
awesome would
we
that
were
be?
like wandering through the West Texas desert, and I was like, I'm building this brew pub, man. I don't know if it's gonna work. And you just like Jim Morrisoned me into building Wayne stock, and it was really awesome. So thank
How'd that
you.
turn out?
We're
Did you
here.
wake up in a pool of sweat
We're here.
or something else?
We're here in my expansion. So
Yeah,
I guess we're doing all right.
Your drink tastes really good.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Is this your sweat?
It doesn't
Yes.
taste like it.
And then I woke
It's
up.
got sweet sweat.
And then I woke up in a pool of cerveza,
Yeah.
and we knew.
God.
And that was when we knew. But yeah, so we've got a couple questions here. Matt, who you actually met at the bar earlier, wants to know what your biggest beer disappointment was.
My biggest beer disappointment?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jeez, thanks, Matt.
Jeez, that's
Real fun question that you're
Bring
asking
it down,
there.
Matt.
disappointment.
Have you ever had anything that
I hate talking about other people's beers.
No, your own beer. I want you to talk shit about your own beer.
I'm disappointed in my beer all the time.
Yeah?
I'm a perfectionist, and like I'm always trying to make our beers better, and so I'm my own worst critic. So, while it's trying to stay as positive as possible, I think thank you very much for the compliment, but I think we have a great portfolio, and I think that we are leaders in innovation and doing things differently and having doing crazy things in barrels and stuff. But like as you said. Making more traditional styles as well. So you got to have something for every occasion. But yeah, unfortunately, when you are trying really hard to make perfect beer, and that's your goal, and that perfect beer, really is unattainable.
Yeah.
You're going to be disappointed all the time. And so, I'm more disappointed than maybe people would realize. But
I think that's kind of part of owning a brewery. You gotta be your own biggest critic.
Absolutely, but it's acceptance of that and acceptance of there's always going to be flaws in your beer. Like 99% of people aren't going to taste those flaws, but like you're so tuned into your beer that when you taste it, you're just like, hey, this is still TTB. It's true to brand, but like it's just a little off. But so we have those moments, but then there's also those moments where you make that little tweak in a recipe, and we're always tweaking what we do at Avery, and you make that little tweak and you taste the beer and you're like, fuck, that's exactly what I was talking about, guys. But that's exactly what it needed. So we work on our beers all the time. So
that's awesome. I had my first, we're new into the distribution side of things. We have brewed beer for a couple of years now, but distribution is ramping up for the first time. And as we're getting more and more beer out to market, I actually had my first experience with going and tasting one of my beers at a bar and being like, yeah, I need you to take this keg off tap. Like it's not, I don't know if it was a keg that maybe came out of our brewery bad or if it's your line not being clean, but I need you to stop serving this beer and I'm going to come and replace it. And that was, it was a new experience for me. I'm used to being on the retail side of things and being like, hey, Adam, your beer sucks. You better come pick this shit up, But that's the, that's the thing, and it's part of it. You gotta go. No, I made that phone call. Told me, bro, get your ass down here. No, but that was to answer the question that was posed at you. That was one of the first times that I had ever tasted my beer and been like in the market and been disappointed by it. I'm like, man, this isn't what it was supposed to taste like. It was that grits that you actually had, and it tasted like movie theater popcorn instead of.
Yeah, unfortunately, once the beer leaves this place, anything that you think can happen to the beer is going to happen to the beer.
Yeah.
Only bad things happen to the beer. Nothing good happens to your beer once it leaves your brewery.
It's like that game where you toss the raw eggs at each other, and some person has to catch them, and you just like whoever the last person is that doesn't get the eggs splattered all over them.
I haven't played that game. We're going to play that later.
We are going to play that.
They do it.
Actually, give us the eggs.
Yeah, eggs. We're ready. We're ready for the eggs.
I already got a beer question that's not a beer question, but kind of. How do you stay so svelte, dude?
I'm not that svelte, dude. I'm like 215 right now.
Well, I'll answer that.
I am, I always talk about this, like the yin and yang of life.
Yeah.
It's like, I love to drink, so I drink a lot. There's a lot of calories in that. So I've been a rock climber for 35 years and ride a road bike and try to surf as much as I can. There's not a lot of good surf in Colorado, but occasionally get to Southern California to do that. So, mostly rock climbing, riding a road bike.
Dude, I tried it one time with him. I couldn't even get up the baby one, My fingers, I thought my fingers were stronger.
You gotta put the beer down. It takes two hands.
And it's a lot easier.
I thought you were going to
your
teach me an actual
goddamn
trick.
ring
Like,
this is what you're, the beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the glass in your hand that was really impeded. Yeah, okay.
I like going to a bouldering gym here in town called Summit, and I like it because it uses my fatness against me. And so the fatter I am, the harder I have to work.
Gravity
while
always
climbing
wins,
gears.
man.
Yeah,
Gravity
and
always
I
wins.
feel like it just motivates me to lose weight because I'm like, man, this would be easier if I just weighed 20 pounds less.
Yeah, then you realize that if you just stop drinking, we'd all be skinny.
That's why I was talking about. I've stepped up my Jameson intake a whole lot lately. Just a little bit tidier.
Hold this hose for a minute.
Whoa, and the guys rarely ask me to do that, but when they do,
And then I was a brewer.
When they do.
when they do. Oh, there's no questions from the peanut gallery. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Who are you? Sorry. What? Sorry.
Oh, but I've heard about one of your beers that has electrolytes in it.
Oh, that's this great segue. We were just talking about working out. And
It's what plants crave.
yeah. No, I wanted to do an electrolyte beer for like at least 15 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm, I go work out and, after you do something, whatever it is, what do? You fucking drink beer, right? I mean, that's what we do. And thank you. Speaking of drinking beer. So I wanted to do this for 15 years, but I couldn't get buy-in from the people at the brew, my guys, because it was like, it seems real gimmicky, and I'm like, it is kind of, I was like, yeah, of course it's like gimmicky, but it's like, it actually, if you can replenish what you just drained out of your body, riding a bike, whatever, doing whatever you like to do, why not do it while you're drinking a beer? Because you're going to have the post-session beer anyway. Right. So why not get the sodium and potassium back into your body immediately? So anyway, legally, I don't think I can say, you know, that it's good for you, but it's good for you.
It's got what plants crave.
I don't care. I made the beer for me.
It's got what plants crave.
Like literally, I made this beer for me, and so but it's a great IPA too. I mean, it's Vic Secrets driven. It's got some Simcoe and Idaho 7 in it as well, but it's pretty juicy. It's hazy, juicy, low on the IBU, so it's very crushable. 5.5%. It's not a session IPA. It's a full flavored, like, you know, sessionable, IPA. But you can drain a 6-pack, you know, so get those salts back into your body.
I used to run.
You used to run?
Actually, where are you running from?
Actually, nice.
Because that's the only reason why I run.
Just everything, man.
Yeah, everything, just mostly him.
I don't even,
Right.
I actually ran 2 marathons, and it doesn't even look like it, you know, but...
I see it.
When I was training, I would come back and drink like how I normally drank, and my wife would be like, I don't think that's good for you. Sorry.
That's not at all what she sounds like.
This guy's an expert. Alicia.
He's a pro.
I know I see you as a runner. You got the Forrest Gump kind of beard going on and stuff, man.
I see it, yeah.
You could just keep running forever. Just keep growing that beard out.
Just kept running.
So this is an interesting transition. John Binkel out there wants to know how many iterations of El Goza you went through before you ended up on the mix, because he fucking loves that beer and he thinks it's awesome.
How long did it take us
How many different recipes do you tend to play with for beers? Do you feel like you write it and it kind of comes out the way that you wanted it to when you write it because you've been writing recipes for 25 years as a brewery, or is it something where you do a batch or two and tweak the recipe?
You said all that?
Well, you know, I'm doing my thing.
I mean, that one is pretty easy. I mean, because the base beer is pretty easy. I mean, it's a a wheat beer and 4.5%. So, but getting the salt and lime combo, right, took us a while for sure. Yeah. And I think it took us a while, not because all of the iterations were good, but it's like getting the whole team. Like we want to. I mean, I have a group of people that I work with that, like, I don't want anybody to be, quote, unhappy, with the beer that we're putting out. So we have to like kind of give and take. So it took a little while to get to the right spot. But cool. As far as like finding the right, ingredients and stuff, that was pretty simple because we found the right lime right off the bat, and then we're using a super expensive sea salt for some reason. I don't know why, but we do anyway. So.
Himalayan sea salt,
Malden, I believe.
Sharpened straight from Nepal to Boulder.
I don't know. I think it's.
When does the beer that plants crave come out? The IPA.
The Go Play? I think end of May.
Is that going to see Texas distribution?
Ooh. I hope so.
That's what I'm going to.
I'll have samples.
May 1st on draft, samples in 2 weeks. You hear that, retailers?
Can't wait to start running again.
You're in town for other shit. You hung out with the Good Friend boys last night.
I hate Matt Tobin.
Old Josh and Matt Tobin. Yeah.
He made me drink.
Hey, who doesn't hate Matt Tobin?
Dirty brown liquor last night.
I drank dirty brown liquor with Yingling this week. I guess it was 2 days ago now. Yeah. So I guess we've been getting.
I almost went to that dinner. And then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
It was fun.
Because that Blind Butcher one last time, I just like almost blacked out. Like, no.
I did. I forgot that one. Yeah.
They're very good friends of ours. We love them. We just did the Party Pooper collaboration beer with.
That's the upside down
with ourselves.
Cake.
We collaborated with ourselves and put pictures of other people on it. I think that's the legalist way to phrase it. And yeah, those are some great guys. I'm glad you got to party with them. What do you got going on the rest of your stay while you're in town?
Hell, I don't know. I get in the car and go.
You get in the car and go. Dots is tonight.
Dots is tonight.
Our neighbors.
Good friend at 4 o'clock, drinking some more with Matt.
Yeah, don't put it on Justin.
This is
Dots. No, bro.
Oh, you double down with good. Oh, because you hang with the Good Friend guys a couple times. I see. Yeah.
This guy was so worried.
Dear diary, like, Adam came in town.
Job, man.
Tomorrow night is Saucer.
Saucer at 7.
Saucer, Fort Worth or Lake?
Go buy your tickets.
Buy your tickets.
Please.
Go buy your tickets. Come see me tomorrow. I'll buy you a beer.
Fort Worth or Lake?
Fort Worth.
No, don't say you'll buy him a beer.
That's going to be Fort Worth is going to be a good time. They've got a really cool facility out there, and you should go check that out.
He's going to tell the story of the brewery through beer.
This is a storyteller event, Noah.
We'll be at Taps and Caps on Thursday at 4 as well.
Taps and Caps. We're doing
This is a closed studio.
We're doing it. Yeah, I know. Come on. Can I see your tickets? You guys have badges. You guys have badges. Taps and Caps. We've got a collab or a beer that we were working. Can we not say collab? I don't know what the deal is. We have
whatever, man.
We talked to the Taps and Caps people, and we are planning a beer with them. Hey, Drew, you want to
Dude,
come
Drew's
and
sneaking
tell
in
us
here.
about?
Dude, this is a beautiful.
Thank you.
This color is unbelievable.
Thank you. I think you guys can figure it out on your own. But
Talk about the Taps and Caps beer that you
oh, that thing.
collaborated on with.
Well, it's not finalized, but it's probably going to involve manually picking about a ton of blueberries.
Hey, a metric
Get in
ton
here, dude.
or just a general
Standard.
load? Standard
Line
ton.
shot.
Yeah, there you go.
This is an old bottle.
Old Jub.
We popped an 07 when Noah came by with a sample of the 17 in the can, and this one was next to it in my cellar, but I didn't write what year it was on it, so it's probably an 08 or 09.
This is 10, 11, 12. I looked at it while I was in the cooler.
It's 10, 11, 12?
Yeah.
I thought it was 11, 12, 13.
You can see the dates down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's still some old beer. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to not drinking all of that.
Yes. I think we can continue aging that because
11, 12,
I'm still
13.
trying to slide into today.
You'll
And
old
you've
Jub
already-
with us. You'll old Jub with
Oh, yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe one Mephistopheles split between 4 people wouldn't be the end of the world.
We can't see you.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. Go get some taster glasses. Go get some taster glasses.
Chop chop. Also, watch out for those pipes over there. They're real hot right now.
Yeah, that's
Don't do that.
Just a heads up.
it's got cleaning stuff in it. All right. So what else you want to talk about, man?
What do you want to talk about?
So like I heard that you remember the Beatles?
Refresh me.
That was awesome. Chris Farley show.
Yeah.
I thought that would go over better. Oh, well.
It was great.
Well, what's going on? What's going on with you? Brewery turns 25 this year, huh?
Correct.
When is that? That's like October.
Well, we celebrate in August.
Okay. I just know it's still
so that's
far
a-
enough away for me to try to get a flight out there.
Yeah, come out. We have the anniversary party.
We
First
got up your
Saturday.
sleeve. 25's got to be.
It's the 4th, August
Get
4th.
a room now. The Ironman's going on at Boulder as well. Get a room now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Iron
Yeah,
Man.
actually,
Maybe
it'll
I should start training also for the Iron Man.
Has nothing to do with
Speaking of exercise beers that we're making now, I don't have a bottle opener anymore.
Exercise.
Somebody
beers.
out there does. There we go. Look at that.
There we go.
Everyone.
Oh hey, what a
So-
lovely bottle opener.
So Sam, we turned 25 this year, which is a big number, obviously. I mean, and it makes me feel old. But what really makes me feel old is the fact that this year I will turn the same age as my dad was when he started the brewery.
Ooh.
I'll be exactly. Jesus Christ!
I-
I thought it was bad. Everybody else is like, oh.
I just
I thought
turned,
he was old back then, so now I'm the old man.
I just
so.
turned the same age that my dad was when I was born, so kind of
It's the
like
same thing. Yeah, right.
Kind of like the same
Right.
thing. This is that
What year's that?
2011.
All right.
All right, fine. Fuck it. I got time. You got time for a nap still, don't you?
Other one was
Yeah, like
strangely
it-
hard to
is that an
find.
old
It used
man
to be a
joke?
common hop variety. Like getting U.S. Tetnang for that.
Do you
I mean,
take-
not Tetnang, Hollertap.
I'll do the bottle.
Super hard.
Here we go.
Yeah. Have we publicly talked about the 25th anniversary beer yet?
I don't know.
I was
Have
gonna
you?
say, Border Soccer is talking about 25th anniversary.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What do you got, man?
I like his questions. He's got some
Are you
good
gonna- are
questions.
you gonna
so
break
far.
it?
And so
Let's
so
break
some people
some-
online. They've had some good
Break some
questions. too.
news. Let's talk about 25th anniversary.
Oh, 25th anniversary is going to be basically a mashup of the Demon series. So there'll be aspects of all three, which sounds like a fucking train wreck, obviously. And so when the guy,
bad idea.
it sounds like a really
Embrace it.
It sounds like a really bad idea.
Embrace it.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm really I'm a salesman. You know that. No, my guys came up with the idea, and I was like, first of all, I was like, but no, it's in the tank right now. It's awesome. Like, and it's definitely very, very Belgian. Very, lots of phenols, lots of esters going on, and then we'll add some oak chips to it, for the some else kind of side of it. It's a neat beer. I mean, it's a really cool beer, and I think it's going to be in the 15-16% range. So.
Oh, I almost forgot that
Excited
Demon
to try
Series hasn't been around for a couple of years now.
We
Or
started
just
making
one?
them for 2 years. Yeah.
It's been 2 years now. Wow. We're
all happier
It's
for
been
it.
about 10 years. Justin, you helped book that first Hop One trip with me that was 10 years ago, man.
No,
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 5 years.
Oh well, then.
That's 5 years.
Oh, did I used to do that with Ted?
Yeah,
I guess I did. So the
Not a lot of
Hop
water.
One for Great American Beer Festival, Flying Saucer. We took the 10 platers out there,
All right.
and it was about 10 years ago, 2008, that we did that for the first time when I took the 10 platers from Flying Saucer out to Boulder, and you let us borrow Hop One for the afternoon. That was actually
Is that
my
where all those dents came from?
yeah, I shotgunned a beer at 70 miles an hour while we were passing some mega church that I checked into
What?
on the internet. Yeah, I shotgunned a beer on a van that was not owned by anybody in this room.
Thank you very much. We do not condone such things.
No way,
In Hop
no
One.
way. It was 7-Up.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. It was 7. Nice session beer.
Now we're drunk.
Joe's Pills.
Yeah.
Is that gonna get production ramped up on it ever, or is that just like
Well, if you drank
you're
more,
just gonna dingle it
I've
in
tried.
front of us?
You need to drink more. Yeah.
Drink more.
Drink more.
I used to have to wrestle Tobin for the cases that came to Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, we'd meet up at Benny Keith, and they would have the ring, and we would do it sumo style, and we would slap our thighs. And
I love that. I love that. I love that beer. That's my grandfather on the can.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Was it Joe?
Yeah, Joe,
Grandpa
yeah.
Joe
Joe
was
Keith,
like
yeah.
it was not just his picture, but also his.
That's
The whole
that's
thing.
my grandfather. Yeah.
Man, I love that beer.
I do too. It's and I love that style. Like I love Pivo too, and I just I like a really hoppy German pills.
This is a really terrible way for me to describe it. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. But the's like a
Does he do that to you all the time?
there's like a
Apologies?
Sprite. What are you saying? There's like a spritiness almost, like it's so light and like zesty. Like it doesn't taste like lime because there's lime, but just the hop bill on it, and maybe it's just the right volumes of CO2. There's like a zestiness to it that I feel like really sets it apart from other pilsners, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just a body and the carbonation, but I really, 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 really love that beer, and it stands out to me even among pilsners. I feel like if you gave me 10 pilsners, I could be like, that one's Joe's.
That's Joe's. Yeah. It's definitely got its own.
I don't think we have any more in Texas because of Matt Tobin.
Yeah, he did the Corey Pond thing with
I thought we were talking
breakfast
shit
guy.
about Matt Tobin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Isn't that the thing?
Yeah.
Don't we blame
Fuck
Matt Tobin
good
for a lot of
friend.
things?
Fuck
You hear
Matt
me?
Tobin.
Fuck good friend.
I'm saying it right now.
Totally kidding. We're making T-shirts. Fuck good friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
you heard it here
Actually,
first.
fuck all of them. Because of those things, we do need to make that T-shirt. Actually,
Yeah, I think so. Well, it made it onto the second anniversary shirt.
Yeah,
was
it did. Real
super,
small.
super tiny. Is it me or you that's wearing it?
right now.
No, the second anniversary on the shirt. One of us is wearing the fuck good friend
Yeah,
shirt.
I think you are.
On our second anniversary shirt, Jeff put both of us on it, and on me, if you zoom all the way in, I'm wearing a "Fuck Good Friend" shirt on our logo.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's a super deep cut. And
even
also,
have that
what'd you
shirt.
write in the stone?
It is. Paul is dead.
Oh, he wrote "Paul is dead" in the stones on the background of the wall. Like, there's a lot of really
Remember the
fun
Beatles?
stuff. Kind of, yeah, the Beatles. Right on. Guys that know the calendar, anything else we need to be talking about?
No, just Taps and Caps Fort Worth.
Taps and Caps Fort Worth, Saucer Fort
That's
Worth.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Buy your saucer tickets.
Buy your saucer
Go
tickets.
turned at 4 today. And then we're going to be at Docks tonight.
You should have made a poster.
Hey, but one thing you can say though, because you're drinking demons, is we're going to have a keg of Mephistopheles that we brought down from Colorado at Docks.
bad.
Oh my lord.
Bad idea.
2013.
Keg of Mephistopheles
We're gonna
at
kill a
Dots
keg.
tonight.
We're gonna kill a keg of meth.
Yeah, we're gonna hand pump it with Bronco kegs out in the patio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Keg stands.
let's blow through some
stands.
gallons of meth tonight.
That was only a 15.4 batch. So you stand a chance.
It's small. Yeah, it's a small batch.
Yeah.
Hey, they were going to
There's low gravity.
Yeah, too many of those 20 Play-Doh runnings made it in there instead of going down the drain. Can't imagine why you stopped making those beers.
So
this is funny
go
because
on.
actual brewer, right? Me, I like brewed 5 beers and I was like, yeah, let's make BrainDead, right? Yeah. And then like, so actually hearing a brewer go like, yeah, right, like gravity. I'm like, what are they talking about?
I don't know Play-Doh.
There was some troubleshooting panel at Craft Brewers Conference like 8 years ago that one of your top brewers was on. And of course, it's when it got to Q&A, someone was like, how the fuck are you guys making those? And they're like, well, we waste a lot.
Yeah.
We poured a lot of beer down the drain trying to figure out how to do high gravity brewing for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That's a lot of wasted malt.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Drew did when we first were getting open, Drew did a second runnings Oud Bruin out of the second runnings of our Imperial Wheat Porter, and we straight soured it with probiotic pills from Central America. We went and got we made starters
Broke
out
them
of like
open,
5
yeah.
different probiotic vials of pills, and then
It's a lot cheaper than buying it from the lab.
sniffed the fermentation that was coming off of it, and the one that was the bubbliest was what we pitched in our beer.
How did it turn out?
Pretty
still
good.
we have a
did
keg on
that
tap
in the
right
kettle
now, too.
and then ran it into like there's that small tank back there. It's like a wine fermenter, but we use them as grants for cleaning and use one as a hop back sometimes. So we filled both of those with it after we kettle soured it with that, and then dumped in like bourbon oak cubes from like an online barbecue shop, and pitched Brett Vardre in there for 100% of the alcoholic fermentation after the kettle souring. It was super weird beer, made for an extremely long day after already brewing Hammer of the Gods.
We coffeed it too, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, the beer was awesome
Brew
because
pubs.
It didn't have enough caffeine in it. So you're like, this beer needs caffeine.
the beer was
before
awesome.
we had cold brew
The
on
beer was
tap.
awesome to begin with. You'd be like,
So
hey,
we
try
started the
this.
good for you beer probiotics. Did you hear
Yeah. And then when you added that coffee,
Now we're doing this electrolyte thing. We're just fanboys.
that?
We're just
always,
yeah.
always
he added the coffee.
hanging
I was
on
like,
my
"There's no way
coattails.
this
Old
beer's
Adam
gonna be
Avery
good."
just falling.
I was like, holy fuck, this beer, like that was an amazing beer.
It was controlled spoilage. That's what
Yes.
a lot of this is.
Hey, that's what
Everything
making
is.
pickles is too.
Yeah.
So let's not get too aggressive on the anti-controlled spoilage talk.
My last name used to have an umlaut in it. It's fine.
Uh,
The old
where did this
Jubilant?
come from? I drank mine, didn't I?
It's yours too.
Probably Anton.
Anton, you want a 14er?
The spring.
You ever climbed a 14er at 1 o'clock in the afternoon before?
Oh, can't hear us anymore.
Oh.
Anton.
Hopefully. Did we lose you? All right, I think we're, getting towards the end of this here. We're not drinking another. Did you hear how many places he has to go and drink in public tonight?
Isn't that the fun? And we're gonna.
We still got
shotgun
some
him
beer to
on.
drink at your bar too.
Let's see how wrecked we can get at him before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not what Growlersations is about.
I thought that was Noah's plan.
Shh, you weren't supposed to tell me.
I thought it was
a
Justin's
secret.
plan.
All right. So anything? I think that's it.
Yeah, I got nothing else for you. You got to share some beers there.
Yeah.
Let's go drink some more of your beer.
Well, thank you
next door.
guys for coming and hanging out with us today.
insist.
I had a blast. Thanks for watching me hang out with one of my beer heroes. I've always said that Adam Avery would be on the Mount Rushmore of beer if I were to have anything to say with it. Justin, you can go fuck yourself. Noah, I still like you. And we're really,
Hey, thanks a lot.
Mount Rushmore right here.
Yeah, here it goes. All right. So I think that's it.
Cheers.
Let's
go
finish
drink.
this off.
Let's go drink some more beers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you guys for following. We had a lot of people logged in. Thanks for asking your questions and saying your what's up and cheersing along with us. John, Alicia, Andrew, David, all you guys, I appreciate it. And go chase around Adam this week while he's in town. Go to all of his events all over the place. And Jeff and I and Drew will be sitting here drinking at BrainDead, enjoying ourselves in a very different way.
What do you mean? We're chasing Adam around too.
Getting more break.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be. I got the hotel room across the way. I got the binoculars set up. If anybody wants to come watch them sleep, we'll be we'll be at the downtown Sheridan Inn.
That's a secret.
So thanks again for watching. Those of you watching on Central Track, we will go up on 4K on YouTube very soon. So be mindful on that. Here in a couple days, I will be writing that article sooner than later for my man Anton, because I'm going to start being a better contributor to Central Track. But most importantly, thank you to Anton for taking the big chunk out of the middle of his day and changing up the routine for what we've got going on. And of course, Adam, thanks for taking your time and being a part of this.
Thanks for the free beer.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
You know, that's one of my favorite things. I was standing in line outside of
get a
Star Bar at
t-shirt, too?
GABF. Yeah, I'll get you a T-shirt. I was standing in line outside of Star Bar at GABF. There's like lines down the
One of
road.
these Manson
I'm standing in the line and it's like, oh, this line's never gonna move if people keep getting waved into the front. And then right then Adam's like, hey Sam, get in here. What are you doing waiting in line? And I was like, oh, shit. Sorry guys. I'm gonna skip the line. I'll catch you later. All right. Well, that being said.
Good night, good luck.
2 growlers gone
We're out.
and more.